Hello everyone, Ben Williams here from Old Tin Cup Habitat Restoration Enhancement. Due to some weather complications and also some issues with scheduling, we are going to do our Weed of the Week Wednesday and our Food Plot and Forestry Friday all wrapped up into one on this episode this week. So we're going to talk about the food plot, which I'm here in, down on my knees, so don't think that this is crazy tall, even though this is definitely 4 foot tall standing winter wheat right now, which we got in this plot to serve as a cover crop. But anyway, I want to talk about our Wednesday Weed of the Week first, which we didn't get on. We are going to talk about thistles this week. They're going to be common. You're going to see them out a lot in your food plots. This one specifically, bull thistle or spear thistle, a lot of people refer to it as. You see really deep lobed, almost look like spear tips. This is definitely one you don't want to run your leg up into, guys. But they are good and beneficial from a lot of standpoints, as well as they're a negative. They can quickly establish. They have hundreds, if not thousands, of seeds per plant typically once they flower. This one's not quite to the flowering stage yet. But this bull thistle is very good for some songbird species, particularly finches forage on the seeds quite a bit from these, as well as your hummingbirds and butterflies serve these as a good pollinator species to have. So having some out in your food plots is okay, or having some out in your old fields. Just don't let them get a big foothold. If this was a perennial food plot stand, I would recommend something like a 2,4-DB, something that wouldn't hurt a leguminous species like alfalfa, clover, or something like that. To control this broadleaf, spot spraying with glyphosate is fairly effective on it as well. And then another thistle species that I want to touch on is right here. This is one you'll see a lot more commonly in your garden places and stuff like that. You see a lot there, especially where I work at FLCC. I see a lot of it at our campus. This is Canada thistle. It's not as big, showy, deeply speared lobes on the leaves, but this is another one that could be out in your food plots as well. So these are your two kind of main thistle species you'll see a lot of times out in your food plots. They do have some drawbacks. They can quickly establish and overrun areas really quickly, but these are thistles, and the reason I'm not handling them is I left my gloves in the truck when I'm out here checking this plot. But anyway, so we got bull thistle or spear thistle, as a lot of people call it, and then Canada thistle. Both of them are not native to North America. They're naturalized out here in this area. So that's what I got for our Wednesday Weed of the Week. Now, as you can see behind me, I'm standing in a food plot, or kneeling in a food plot rather, and I'll stand up and we'll touch on the Food Plot and Forestry Friday aspect of this video. So what this was, we won't talk about that over there right now. But what this was a food plot of oats. This strip was oats last year, and you can see what's not mowed was oats. And I knew that I would have a lot of issues in here on this food plot if I didn't put a cover crop with it. So the oats came up great, everything, and obviously you can see this winter wheat's doing very well. It is chest high, solid, and what this is doing is suppressing that weed growth. Now down here where it gets a little bit wetter, I mean obviously the wheat doesn't do the wet feet so good, but this is the importance of your Food Plot and Forestry Friday right now is cover crops. Winter wheat, cereal rye, some of these that'll stand through the winter time and give you that good barrier of protection versus these weeds. It's suppressing stuff like that thistle. That's not up and established out the top yet. There's a lot of grass out here, particularly in the wet spot. You get some of that canary grass taking over, some fescues and stuff like that popping up. But once I get out here, where the wheat's a little bit more acclimated to this soil type rather than having a wetter area, you can see this doing a good job suppressing everything else. I mean, there's going to be gaps in here. Obviously, you got some fescues taking over, and some check grass, stuff like that. You're going to have that. This is a first year planting this year, so needed a cover crop on it. So this wheat, we're going to probably let this go to term. This is going to be put into an annual, probably a short-term, couple month buckwheat here. We'll see what this field looks like in another couple weeks and what ends up happening with that. Kind of a mess over there. But anyway, so we're out here, or I'm out here, looking and assessing the damage and trying to figure out where we're going to go forward. There is a lot of fescue grass and other stuff coming up out in here, but there is a lot of beneficial stuff. I'll hint this one. This will be our Wednesday Weed of the Week next week. We'll probably be back out here looking at this one next Wednesday. So that's my tip for your Food Plot and Forestry Fridays here with the food plot side of it for this week's episode with our Wednesday Weed of the Week. Cereal grains. Don't overlook your cereal grains, very important. I wish that hadn't been mowed, otherwise we definitely would look at some other food plot stuff, which is what I came out here to shoot, but somebody jumped on the tractor, got busy, not me. So anyway, so what we're doing, guys, is assessing. Don't forget your cover crops. Suppress this weed growth. This would be uncontrollable at this point. A lot of this is suppressed right down and good. Obviously you still got some goldenrod hanging on from when this was a I would call an overgrown field. Have been out of production for at least 4 or 5 years from being a food plot. But look how much weed growth is suppressed, at least down in there, because all that sunlight can't get down to these annual plants that are trying to come up. It's definitely providing its purpose, suppressing that weed growth. Otherwise this would just be an overgrown jungle of grass. So it's keeping the undesirables in check. There's a little brassica that kind of made it over a little bit too far out of the spreader. But so that's the tip, guys. Cereal grains, cereal grains, cereal grains. You'll hear us pounding on them here. It's definitely something that's very overlooked in a lot of food plot plantings and shouldn't be overlooked. But we're going to see if we can put this to a buckwheat mix on that side, slash soybeans on part of it too. We'll see where we get with stuff. But there's your tips for your food plot forestry Friday, your Wednesday weed of the week, your thistles. Knowing what they are rather than the big spiky things that hurt when you walk into them, or go to clean your brush hog out and you grab a handful of it. So that's where I'm at, guys. Ben Williams here from Old Tin Cup Habitat Restoration and Enhancement. If you like this video, please give us that big thumbs up and that like. Drop your comments down in the comment section below. We'd love to hear from you guys, figure out what you guys want to see featured on these weekly episodes when they do come out, when I'm not extremely busy. I'm going to try to keep posting these for you guys because the feedback's been really good on them. Hope everyone has a safe weekend. I'm going to be down at the RBD shooting a competition this week, archery. It's a great shoot. If you got nothing going on this weekend, guys, get down there to the Branchport Rod and Gun Club and then shoot the Seneca Lake Duck Hunters. Get yourself qualified for a huge payout with the RBD. And thanks to those guys and at Heritage for shooting leagues. And every Thursday night at Heritage now, we got archery leagues starting up again at 6 o'clock. So that's, I guess, everything I got for you guys. Don't forget to subscribe so you get the notifications every time we post a new video, as well as sharing this video around. If you like the content, want to see more of it, share it to some people that might be interested in it. We'd love to have them follow right along with us. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Give us that thumbs up, drop your comments, and I'll see you guys all next time here in the field for Weed of the Week Wednesdays, on Fridays with Food Plot and Forestry Fridays. I'm Ben Williams with Old Tin Cup. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Take care.